While Harley raises prices, this Chinese brand just built better bikes for half the cost. And riders are noticing. If tradition still matters, it's under threat. Watch till the end, because number 1 might not just challenge Harley, it might replace it. Number 7. Bunda LFC700. From the moment it rolls into view, this low-slung powerhouse makes one thing clear. It was built to stand apart from the pack. The LFC700 steps into that space with a presence that feels deliberate, confident, and unmistakably masculine. This is not a motorcycle that tries to imitate American iron. It brings its own brand of strength, blending futuristic design with classic attitude. In a world where chrome has given way to matte black and steel, this machine delivers a new kind of power. Quiet, assertive, and undeniably real. It is powered by a liquid-cooled 683 cubic centimeter inline 4-cylinder engine producing 94 horsepower and 45 pound-feet of torque. Braking is managed by dual-disc brakes up front and a single disc in the rear, supported by a standard anti-lock braking system. Suspension includes an inverted front fork and a rear monoshock setup tuned for firm but forgiving control. The motorcycle has a wet weight of 573 pounds and a seat height of 27.6 inches. Starting price is approximately $7,100. From the stretched 6-foot wheelbase to the sculpted bodywork and exposed exhaust headers, the LFC700 is unapologetically bold. This motorcycle doesn't try to whisper heritage, it shows up looking like it belongs in a futuristic western, ready to ride off into a sunset made of neon. Riders accustomed to the familiar thrum of a V-twin might find the inline 4's smooth revs surprising but not disappointing. It builds power evenly, pulls strong through the mid-range, and delivers confident acceleration without feeling jumpy. The seating position is low and laid back with mid-mounted foot controls and a wide bar setup that gives the rider full leverage. Visibility is excellent and the ergonomics are tuned for longer days in the saddle, though the rear suspension can feel stiff over rough pavement. There is a sense of intention in every design choice. Nothing feels added for show. Even the belt drive system, rare at this price point, adds to the cruiser's smoothness and ease of maintenance. The digital instrument cluster is clean and minimal, offering clear readouts for speed, gear position, fuel level, and engine temperature. Lighting is full light-emitting diode, including a narrow front headlamp and integrated rear tail light that contribute to the bike's aggressive silhouette. Paint options are dark, understated, and aligned with the muscle cruiser aesthetic. For riders who want something different without sacrificing capability, this motorcycle delivers. While this machine might be a new name to many American riders, it is backed by a brand that is making serious investments in both design and engineering. The LFC700 is not a toy, not a gimmick, and not a copy. It is a cruiser built for real roads, real riders, and real weight beneath the throttle hand. In a category long dominated by tradition, it is a bold step into something new, without forgetting what made these motorcycles matter in the first place. Shift your focus. Our next machine brings muscle to the middleweight class with no apologies and no shortcuts. If one of these machines surprised you or challenged what you thought about modern cruisers, drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you're still with us, hit that like button. Real riders' opinions matter more than headlines. Number 6. Zonte GK350. Strip away the noise, the bulk, and the badge, and you get a machine like this. Lean, focused, and proudly carved from its own mold. That is the case with the GK350. It is lean, tough-looking, and honest in its purpose. Whether parked outside a diner or winding through back roads, it carries itself like a bike that knows its role and delivers on it. No frills, no noise, just a well-built machine for riders who still believe motorcycles should be ridden, not polished. It is powered by a single-cylinder, liquid-cooled engine producing 38 horsepower from 348 cubic centimeters. Torque comes in at 25 pound-feet. Braking is handled by a single front disc and single rear disc, both supported by a standard anti-lock braking system. Suspension consists of an inverted front fork and a rear monoshock. Wet weight stands at approximately 385 pounds with a seat height of 32.4 inches. Starting price is $5,100. The short name keeps its design minimal and functional with no extra panels or design clutter. You get a round light-emitting diode headlamp, slim tank, and slightly raised handlebars that give a flat-track look without pretending to be one. The single exhaust is tucked cleanly under the frame and the engine sits exposed with a blacked-out treatment that adds to the utilitarian style. Nothing about this bike looks cheap, rushed, or out of place. The finishes are crisp and the proportions are dialed in. Throttle response is crisp off the line with just enough engine braking to keep the ride smooth without being twitchy. The gear shifts are light and accurate thanks to a slipper clutch that keeps the rear end steady under downshifts. The short name feels settled and predictable in corners with just enough edge to keep things engaging. Its mid-weight frame means it is easy to maneuver in traffic but stable enough to cruise at highway speeds without strain. For older riders coming off heavier cruisers, the short name offers a fresh sense of control and ease. No wrestling at parking speeds, no leg cramps from low-slung foot pegs, just a comfortable upright position, a firm but manageable suspension setup, and brakes that respond without diving or chatter. It is the kind of motorcycle that feels more connected to the road than most bikes in its class. Technology is simple but useful. The digital gauge cluster is clear, backlit, and includes gear position, speed, trip info, and fuel level. Lighting is full light-emitting diode all around. There are no rider modes or electronic frills, just pure mechanical connection between rider and machine. That simplicity is part of what makes it so effective. It gets out of the way and lets you enjoy the road. The GK350 is not pretending to be a cruiser, a race bike, or a showpiece. It is built for riders who have been around long enough to appreciate function over fluff. It is compact, durable, and made to go the distance. And for many American riders looking for a second bike or a return to basics, it might be just what they are looking for. From simplicity to refinement, we move to a motorcycle that honors the past while putting fresh torque under your boots. Looking for real gear, not overpriced junk? Check the description for the best rider-tested helmets, gloves, and jackets. Number 5. CFMOT 700CL-X Heritage. Not all Heritage rides come draped in chrome. Some wear modern steel and deliver on the promise of yesterday with the muscle of today. The 750 Heritage is exactly that. It nods to classic styling with just enough retro charm to draw your eye, but underneath the familiar shape is a machine built with modern capability and practical engineering. For the rider who wants to feel the road, not fight the bike, this one delivers a ride that feels focused, smooth, and completely under control. It is powered by a liquid-cooled parallel twin-cylinder engine with a displacement of 693 cubic centimeters. The engine produces 73 horsepower and 48 pound-feet of torque. Braking is managed by a single front disc and a single rear disc, each supported by a standard anti-lock braking system. Suspension consists of an inverted front fork and a single rear monoshock with preload adjustment. The wet weight is 437 pounds and seat height is 31.9 inches. Starting price is $7,100. The short name does not rely on oversized fenders or polished chrome. Instead, it keeps things tight and muscular. You get a minimalist tank design, slim tail section, and a leather seat stitched with care. The round, light-emitting diode headlamp adds to the classic appeal, while modern finishes like brushed metal panels and subtle bronze accents give it a premium look without feeling flashy. The result is a clean, confident design that stands on its own. Throttle control is light but responsive. The engine pulls evenly across the rev range, with most of the usable torque arriving low and holding steady into the mid-range. Whether rolling through a twisty back road or cruising at highway speeds, the short name stays planted. It is not a lightweight in feel, but it is easy to maneuver. For older riders used to heavier cruisers, this bike offers a familiar amount of substance with far less strain. Rider position is slightly upright with wide bars and mid-mounted foot controls that place your body in a neutral, comfortable triangle. The tank cutouts give your knees a natural resting point, and the seat provides enough support for longer stretches without fatigue. It is the kind of position that encourages casual riding but still gives you control when the road calls for more. Technology remains understated. The display is a circular digital gauge that shows speed, gear, fuel, and ride mode status at a glance. The bike comes with 2 riding modes, economy and sport, that adjust throttle mapping and engine response. Cruise control is standard, and the clutch action is light enough to make stop-and-go traffic a non-issue. Everything you need is there, and nothing feels like a gimmick. The short name is a modern middleweight that avoids extremes. It is not trying to be the fastest, the loudest, or the cheapest. It is balanced, capable, and styled with purpose. For riders who want performance without intimidation, looks without flash, and comfort without compromise, this machine hits that rare sweet spot. If classic lines and V-twin sole are your thing, the following machine proves there's still room to evolve without forgetting where we came from. Number 4. QJ Motor SRV550. This one walks like a cruiser, rumbles like a cruiser, and rides like the bikes we grew up on, but it's got a few tricks Harley never saw coming. The SRV550 is one of those machines. It respects tradition, but it does not get lost in it. It brings the shape, sound, and rhythm of the classic cruiser ride, then sharpens the whole experience with smarter engineering and a little less weight to wrestle with. For the rider who wants to keep things familiar without falling behind, this one hits the mark. It is powered by a liquid-cooled V-twin engine with a displacement of 554 cubic centimeters. The engine produces 47 horsepower and 37 pound-feet of torque. Braking is handled by dual front disc brakes and a single rear disc, supported by a standard anti-lock braking system. Suspension includes a telescopic front fork and twin rear shocks. Wet weight is 404 pounds and seat height is 27.6 inches. Starting price is $6,100. The short name follows a classic cruiser silhouette, low-slung saddle, teardrop tank, and raked front end. But with tighter, more modern lines. There is no excess chrome and no bloated fenders. It is finished in flat tones, brushed metals, and clean welds. From a distance, it might pass for something from Milwaukee, but up close, the build quality and unique frame design tell a different story. It is an honest take on the cruiser style without any lazy copycat work. Throttle response is calm but confident. The power builds smoothly from idle with enough torque to make city riding easy and highway speeds steady. The engine has a deep, even rhythm, never harsh or buzzy. The 6-speed transmission feels geared for relaxed cruising, not aggressive shifting. For older riders used to larger V-twins, this bike offers a lighter, less intimidating alternative that still delivers real pull from the saddle. The riding position is all-day comfortable. The pegs are slightly forward, the bars sweep wide, and the seat offers decent lumbar support. It feels like a cruiser should, grounded, stable, and easy to maneuver at low speed. Despite the relatively small displacement, the bike does not feel small. It has physical presence and enough road weight to keep it from getting pushed around in crosswinds or heavier traffic. Technology is kept to the essentials. A compact digital display provides a clear view of speed, gear, and fuel level. Lighting is full light-emitting diode, and the switchgear feels solid. There are no riding modes or performance gimmicks, just straightforward mechanical function that does not get in your way. This is a machine built to ride, not to tap and swipe through menus. For riders priced out of the big American cruisers, or those simply looking for something a little less heavy, the short name is a serious contender. It proves that good looks, proper power, and everyday comfort do not have to cost over $20,000. It may not have the badge, but it has the ride. And for a lot of people, that matters more. Let's crank the volume and push into real power territory, because this next motorcycle isn't here to play it safe. Number 3. CFMOT 800MT Touring. Built for open highways and the long road ahead, this machine trades flashy tech for real-world comfort and command. The 800MT Touring was built with that idea in mind. It does not rely on brand recognition or decades of nostalgia. Instead, it takes everything that matters to long-distance riders: comfort, stability, range, and control, and delivers it with quiet confidence and unmistakable purpose. This is a motorcycle for those who do not just ride the road, they move through it. It is powered by a liquid-cooled parallel twin-cylinder engine with a displacement of 799 cubic centimeters. The engine produces 94 horsepower and 57 pound-feet of torque. Braking is handled by dual front disc brakes and a single rear disc, backed by a standard anti-lock braking system. Suspension includes an inverted front fork with long travel and a rear monoshock with preload adjustment. The wet weight is 500 pounds and seat height is 32.5 inches. Starting price is $10,400. The short name carries a rugged, upright stance that feels planted and secure. It features a tall windscreen, hand guards, a wide saddle, and side-mounted panniers for hauling gear. The tank flares out with a slight taper for knee comfort, while the rear rack gives you room for everything from sleeping bags to backrests. Everything on this motorcycle is designed for practical use, not to win a design contest, but to deliver comfort over hundreds of miles in a single day. Throttle response is predictable and strong, especially in the mid-range, where touring riders spend most of their time. The engine is tuned for torque, not top-end speed, which means it pulls without hesitation even when loaded with luggage and a passenger. The 6-speed gearbox shifts cleanly and delivers steady power without clunk or lag. Whether you are passing trucks on the highway or climbing through mountain switchbacks, the short name holds steady and stays composed. The riding position is designed for long-haul comfort. The handlebars are set high and wide, reducing wrist fatigue, while the foot pegs offer just enough bend to support your legs without locking your knees. The seat is firm but supportive, and the high windscreen cuts fatigue by deflecting wind off your chest and helmet. For older riders used to heavier cruisers, this bike offers surprising agility without sacrificing highway confidence. It is not trying to replace the big American bagger, but it might convince you that you no longer need one. From long-haul comfort to sharp performance, the next machine blends muscle with precision in a way few cruisers ever dared. Number 2. Bunda Dark Flag V4. Step aside, soft cruisers. This V4 Brute is here to dominate with raw power, sharp design, and no need for approval. The Dark Flag V4 was not made to follow tradition. It was designed to rewrite it. This is a machine with power in its bones and aggression in its posture. It does not borrow from cruiser history. It builds a new chapter from the ground up. For the rider who wants real performance without letting go of road presence, this motorcycle brings a different kind of strength to the table. It is powered by a liquid-cooled V4 cylinder engine with a displacement of 1,198 cubic centimeters. The engine produces 158 horsepower and 92 pound-feet of torque. Braking is handled by dual front disc brakes and a single rear disc, supported by a standard anti-lock braking system. Suspension consists of an inverted front fork and a rear monoshock with adjustable preload. Wet weight is 673 pounds and seat height is 27.9 inches. Starting price is $14,800. The short name stands apart from anything on the road. Its long frame, exposed twin exhausts, and wide rear tire give it a silhouette that feels more like a custom-built muscle bike than a production cruiser. The matte black finish and minimal bodywork place the focus where it belongs, on performance. This motorcycle looks like it was carved from metal with one purpose: to move fast and hit hard. It does not pretend to be retro. It is here to dominate. Throttle delivery is immediate. There is no delay, no soft curve, just raw acceleration on command. The V4 engine revs with a sound that is smoother than a V-twin, but still aggressive, with a mechanical edge that keeps the rider alert. The power band stretches across the range with no noticeable flat spots, and the 6-speed transmission pairs with the engine like a well-trained teammate. Whether you are rolling on from 40 or pushing past 80, the short name always has more to give. Riding posture is neutral but commanding. The handlebars are set wide and slightly forward, giving the rider firm control without leaning into discomfort. Foot controls are mid-mounted, allowing both stability and leverage in corners. The seat is sculpted for support during long rides with just enough padding to ease the miles. Even with the bike's weight, it carries itself well, especially once moving. It remains composed at speed and surprisingly nimble in tighter bends. Instrumentation is clean and fully digital. offering speed, gear position, engine temperature, and fuel level at a glance. Lighting is full light-emitting diode with a distinctive split headlamp and sharp rear indicators that match the aggressive lines of the frame. There are no unnecessary ride modes or tech gimmicks, just straightforward electronics that work without distraction. For the American rider used to classic V-twins and low-end torque, this machine offers something more advanced without losing the cruiser identity. It feels like a power cruiser, but with refinement and balance that usually come from sport bike heritage. It is not built for nostalgia. It is built for riders who have done their time and want something different. Subscribe now for more builds, breakdowns, and honest takes the mainstream won't touch. The next chapter's already on the way. Don't miss it. Number 1. CFMOT 450 CLC. Quietly climbing the ranks, this midsize cruiser may be the most dangerous rival Harley has faced in a generation because it makes sense everywhere it matters. It just needs to be built right. The 450 CLC is that kind of motorcycle. It does not rely on nostalgia or gimmicks. It delivers an authentic cruiser experience wrapped in clean lines and tight engineering. This is not a bike that's trying to be something it is not. It is built for everyday riders who want comfort, torque, and style without the extra weight, price, or complexity. And that is exactly what makes it so dangerous to the legacy brands. It is powered by a liquid-cooled parallel twin-cylinder engine with a displacement of 449 cubic centimeters. The engine produces 50 horsepower and 32 pound-feet of torque. Braking is managed by a single front disc and a single rear disc, both supported by a standard anti-lock braking system. Suspension includes an inverted front fork and dual rear shocks tuned for comfort and stability. The wet weight is 396 pounds and seat height is 27.6 inches. Starting price is $5,900. The short name cuts a bold profile but without any of the bulk or flash. There is nothing unnecessary here. Every inch of the motorcycle serves a function. The styling is pure cruiser but modernized with purpose. Throttle input is smooth and the engine's power band is tuned to deliver usable torque right where riders want it, in the low and mid ranges. It is not built for top-end speed. It is built to roll on strong and hold steady. The 6-speed gearbox is light and accurate, and the slipper clutch helps smooth out downshifts without fuss. From red lights to rural highways, the short name gives you real pull without asking for constant input. The riding position is pure comfort. Mid-mounted controls let you rest your legs naturally without stretching. The handlebars are wide, slightly swept, and offer full control at low speeds or in tight turns. The bike's low center of gravity makes parking, U-turns, and city riding almost effortless. For older riders looking for something they can handle confidently, the short name brings cruiser charm without cruiser struggle. The digital gauge cluster is compact but easy to read, showing speed, fuel, trip, and gear position. Lighting is full light-emitting diode, and finish quality across the machine is higher than most would expect at this price point. This is not a toy or a starter bike. It is a cruiser with real-world appeal, built to carry its weight on long rides or short hops without ever feeling out of place. The short name proves that a great motorcycle does not have to be massive or expensive. It just needs to be right. And in a segment where weight, price, and complexity have all climbed higher than they need to, this machine offers an honest alternative. It may not carry the badge riders are used to, but it carries the ride they have been waiting for. And that, more than anything, is why it sits at the top of this list. You've seen what's coming, and it's not just competition, it's a reckoning. The road ahead is changing fast. Hit subscribe to stay ahead of the curve and join the riders who refuse to be left behind. This ride's just getting started.